Hello all, welcome back to Level Up. This is Priyanka and today we will finish the chapter The Fundamental Unit of Life. This is part 3. For the previous parts of this chapter, please click on the links given below in the description box. Now let us continue with the chapter. The next organelle we will be looking at is the lysosome. The lysosomes are basically the waste disposal system of the cell. It contains very powerful digestive enzymes which are capable of breaking down all sorts of organic material. This enzyme enables the lysosome to digest any foreign material such as bacteria or worn out cell organelles by breaking them down. Sometimes, when the lysosome is required to break down some particle in it, they burst and the enzymes inside the lysosome digests its own cell. This is why they are also known as the suicidal bags of a cell. They are called bags because structurally they are membrane-bound sacs filled with enzymes, and these enzymes are secreted by the rough endoplasmic reticulum. As you can see in this image, the yellow part is the membrane and the blue part is the enzyme that is secreted by the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the entire thing is a lysosome. We saw what the rough endoplasmic reticulum was in detail in the last video. We have often heard our seniors memorize the phrase that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Here is the reason behind the phrase so that you don't have to cram it up too. The energy required by the cell to perform any process is released by this organelle in the form of adenosine triphosphate. We all know that adenosine triphosphate is also known as ATP, which is the energy currency of the cell. Now, mitochondria has two different membranes instead of just one. The outer membrane is very porous, whereas the inner membrane is deeply folded. The deep folds follow the same principle as the villi in our small intestine. These folds create a larger surface area for the ATP generation chemical reactions to take place. Mitochondria is a weird organelle because they have their own DNA and their own ribosomes. This implies that this organelle can make their own proteins. I believe that they have this capability to make their own proteins because a cell constantly requires energy to survive. Hence, this organelle cannot depend on other organelles to give this organelle its food. The next organelle we are looking at is the plastid. Now, these plastids are organelles which are present only in the plant cells. They contain numerous membranous layers inside them. These layers are embedded into a material called the stroma. Now, these plastids also have their own DNA and ribosomes, and their structures are also similar to that of mitochondria. Now, let us look at the types of plastids. Primarily, there are two types of plastids, chromoplasts and leucoplasts. Chromoplasts refers to the colored plastids, whereas leucoplasts refers to the colorless plastids. Now, chromoplasts that contain a green pigment called chlorophyll are called as chloroplasts. We are aware that it is this pigment called chlorophyll that causes the green colored appearance of plants. Now, the next organelle we will be looking at is the vacuole. This slide has two different pictures. One is of a plant cell and other is of the animal cell. This is the vacuole of a plant cell and this is another vacuole of the animal cell. Now what I want you to do is to look at these two different vacuoles in the two different cells. What is the difference you notice? Now what are vacuoles? Vacuoles are simply storage sacs for solid and liquid contents of a cell. There are many small-sized vacuoles in animal cells, whereas you have one big central vacuole and then two or three other smaller ones in plant cells. Plant cells' vacuoles are full of cell sap. and this cell sap provides turgidity and rigidity. They also contain important substances such as amino acids, sugars, etc. In unicellular animal cells, example the amoeba, the vacuole contains the food the organism has consumed. Sometimes, specialized vacuoles also play an important role in expelling wastes and water from the cell. Now that brings us to the end of this chapter, the fundamental unit of life, finally. Please like this video if you found it useful, subscribe to our channel to receive notifications whenever we upload new videos, and share this video to anyone who may find this video helpful. Thank you and see you soon in another video. Until then, bye and happy learning.